Hello and welcome to Tomb Raider Race to the End. This week we've been doing Red Alert, and I've come dressed as your 80s inspired action flick movie star.
I did think you've mentioned Bruce Willis twice through this series.
I don't think it'd be quite like this, but I feel like I could be in some cheap film.
What about this? Do you reckon this is a action hero?
I think you could probably get on the new Spongebob Squarepants film. So, Red Alert. We start off in a outside sort of stairwell on the side of this mad building that we haven't quite figured out what the hell's going on with it. But it's where Werner and Croy works or stores his stuff. And there's a Terminator dude to shoot, which you get him in the head. And then there's loads of explosions, as per usual for these levels. And staircases just falling down out of nowhere.
Staircase is falling down, and the Terminator dude shooting you until you realise, again, if you don't move, he doesn't see you, which is perfectly logical.
Well, yeah, that's what the raccoon does, isn't it? When it's running the road, there's a car coming.
A struggle, but you know, it was a die and learn and move on moment, and we got to the top.
We did indeed. At which point we were very stuck and couldn't see where to go because it was a texture in the wall that you needed to kick through with the action button.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think this is the first crawl space that you have to kick out. So again, another hidden progression moment.
Thank you very much, Stella, for the progression through that part of the level. Then we were on to a bit where you see a soldier walking above you, and the camera angle was awkward as hell, and you have to wait till they sort of move away. You can jump and pull down one section of, I think, 6 sort of tiles, and it's really unclear as to where that is.
And 6 sections is 6 sections times 4 sides, so you've actually got 24 kind of possible jump and grab situation.
Yeah, so thank you, Stella, for my progression there. And I managed to snipe the dude whilst I was downstairs.
Is that a Stella thank you as well? Are you going to throw another one, Howard?
Yeah, just all praise Stella. She is the one and true, the only matriarch in the Tomb Raider community.
Yeah. So next room is a laser section. I'd found the headset in the previous one, so you don't need it necessarily, but there was some use. Whereas Zip kind of gives you a bit of a tip here, but
did he?
Because yeah,
Zip, I can't hear anything you're saying. Come on, Zip.
Give subtitles if anything as well. But you can see the lasers. But I think you found an alternate way.
Yeah, so if you shoot out a tap at the end, it lets out some steam, and then through the steam you see the lasers. A bit like when you're at a gig and they put the smoke machine on, so the lasers look even more cool.
It did look cool.
That was super awkward using the headset to get through, because you have to sort of take it off to move, and
you were so close to the lasers that it was difficult to see the ones that were immediately in front of you because there was layers.
So this level had loads of die and try again.
Yep.
Then I made my way into a shooting gallery, I think it was. That is some Tomb Raider logic, isn't it? The completing a target range to unlock a door.
Perfectly logical. You know, shoot 5 targets and door unlocks. So after shooting these 5 targets and the door unlocks, I go through the door and get the grapple gun. And in the room, I think that's fairly clear where to shoot it. I tried shooting it at the vent first of all, but then you quickly realise that doesn't work straight up. One big positive is the target goes green when it is grappleable.
And I tried to swing into the vent, which you can't do. You have to swing into a texture on the wall.
Yeah, I did the same, but the texture is clear enough that it's not completely obtuse, at least. And from there, you take your grapple gun and you head back to the first section of the game, and you can
Killing a
swing
couple of
across.
terminators on the way.
One point here is I saw that you need that second grapple hook to get across that gap, and I didn't have one the first time round.
Easily missed. Way too easy to miss the ammo for the grapple gun. And you almost missed that, and I missed the gun entirely. So,
well, I didn't almost miss it. I did miss it, and I went back through the weapon room twice, and then the door didn't open again. So I got soft locked out. Luckily, I had a save
fairly recent that I could go back to. Yeah, that was my first experience of the soft lock of the level.
after this, I was disappointed to find out we had to go back through that laser trap. I gave you the advice of saving halfway through, because then you've still got like 3 more to make it through. And neither of us followed that advice, did we? Both trying to race each other.
No, I think we wanted to see the death screen again. We hadn't seen it many times in the Von Croy levels, so...
We shortly after that found the second place to use the grapple gun and swung across the outside stairwell again. We've made our way back there into another vent, which has a fire at the bottom of it. Because why not make it extra difficult for you?
Even though other fire in the level doesn't even hurt you, but this one kills you.
Inconsistency. This is where we stopped because we didn't want to get super wound up like I did the previous time. And this is a long level, so we're going to split it in 2. And I don't even think we're halfway yet. We'll pick up on that next time.
I would suggest, like we did last week, of splitting the level into 2 to not get fatigued.
Red alert, walkthrough, use. Question of the week this week is your best and worst moments from Tomb Raider Race to the End, doing racing and completing Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles. Let's start with worst moment. What was the worst moment for you, Nick?
Worst moment, apart from the fact that we're nearly at the end. You know, it's been a great craze. I'd say my second place was the fact in the very first episode I had serious controller problems.
Oh my god, he has a problem. Memory card doesn't have enough room and you can't delete slots while playing, and he died and he took 37 minutes to get where he did. Unlucky, mate.
I got to the point where I couldn't even move forward, back, left, right. I think it was I could move if I was sprinting, which isn't right. And I actually got a save issue as well. So I had to restart the level about 40 minutes in. That was frustrating, to say the least. My worst moment, I think, of the series and playing the game, more the series to do with the race, was the Gallow Tree episode, where when revealing how we were kind of conversing a semi large amount during that level, and it was the one where we kind of went different routes, and there was, for PS1 era, almost open world where you could go different ways and still get to the end different routes, and we randomly went different ways. So it was quite interesting talking, and we were both progressing at a very equal rate, jumping each other, and I think it was probably the closest level, maybe not on time, but in terms of gameplay. And we got to the end, and spoilers, go back and watch the episode if you haven't already, and we got to the final times, and you just pipped me to the post by less than 5 minutes, and I got a secret which pulled me back in front, and then you revealed you also got the secret. Okay. Right, 1 hour.
1 hour.
28
20. 7.
Before we put the scores up, I did get a second secret.
Oh no. Shame, because I did too.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh.
You had that one in your pocket, didn't you? And took the win away from me. And yeah, that's got to be the worst moment for me. Partly because I thought I was being smug by revealing.
Maybe that was my best moment.
Yeah, so for me that was crushing. Yeah. What was your least favorite moment of the Race to the End series?
I think the worst thing about Tomb Raider Chronicles is just some of the Tomb Raider logic to like solve puzzles to progress or to take down an enemy, like the inconsistency there and the mad like logic and game design behind it like is kind of game breaking. Will get you stuck in a few places. So I've got to say all the different instances of Tomb Raider logic.
I definitely agree with you. This game is pretty bad for it. I mean, Tomb Raider 4 has a few moments, but yeah, definitely of the classic series, this is up there. And I do appreciate that they're trying to evolve the gameplay and make a difference, but it's just slightly too hidden, and they haven't conveyed the way to progress clearly enough. The moment that stands out for me was the chef in the submarine.
I'm in the kitchen. Only thing I'm cooking is Lara, though. Doesn't appear to be anywhere to put that battery either. What to do?
That was the first time we both went, this isn't
There was
okay.
a few like sort of sticking points for both of us separately, but we both got stuck on that, and you would never realize it. Like we could have gone on for hours, and you don't want to be sinking hours into a puzzle, like getting stuck, or it wasn't even a puzzle, was it? It was just how to.
Yeah. So enough of that. Let's stick with the positive.
Why don't you tell me your best moment?
Individual moments. First level of Streets of Rome, and I finished it, and I actually quite enjoyed watching the end bit on Twitch. Dude, you're on level 2.
Oh, I finished the first one. It's Trojan Margaret's level 2.
Yeah, that's the the second level. Yeah, you don't get like a stat screen. I just took that from the Timex once the cutscene ended, where I'd already finished. And it was quite interesting to watch your playthrough.
Turns out I'd already finished when we got to Trojan Markets. That's the end of the first level, which is where we were racing to.
To be honest, this added to the kind of who won moment for me as well. Like with the controller issues, as already mentioned, I really enjoyed how our kind of race and system evolved. Watching the early episodes was very much just let's do this thing and see how it goes, and now it's developed into something where we really like appreciate Tomb Raider and all of that culture that goes with it. And so that kind of leads on to my favorite moment, which is, you know, we started this because of, if people are watching this back, 2020 COVID-19 lockdown, and we were playing Tomb Raider 4 together, and we actually had a date in the diary where we were going to meet up again and put some more time into the game, and because of the lockdown that became not possible.
Yeah, we were doing sofa co-op, but we couldn't meet up anymore.
Yep, and this game's not online, so there was no option there. So this was an idea to keep up that Contact and Tomb Raider gameplay, and it developed into something which I now appreciate so much more than I did at the start. And I love the fact that you've introduced me to a lot of Tomb Raider related things. We've done the Spotlight, which came in later in the episodes, and we've done some great shout outs to some amazing people that are keeping the biggest Tomb Raider 1 franchise alive. For me, that's the best part of this, just the whole thing. Bit of a cheat there.
That's really nice to hear. So for me, one of my best moments was when you very prematurely, early on in one of the early episodes, called this your favourite game. Your favourite ever Tomb Raider game. And I was like, oh, really?
I'm going to put it out there now. We're a third of the way through the game. I'm going to make a big statement and say that it's possibly my favourite.
Whoa! I was like, I think he's saying this a bit prematurely, but it was an indicator to me that you were actually enjoying what we were doing, and that enhances my enjoyment of it as well. So that was the one of the best moments for me of Race to the End. But if we want to go best moment in the game, best moment in Tomb Raider 5 Chronicles, for me, it's the atmosphere that's generated in the island levels and the beautiful scenery and the musical cues and everything adding to that. And the specific moment would be when you emerge out, you see the gallows tree and somebody swinging from it like a spirit being. And when they sort of that cutscene and they talk to you, it was creepy.
Come closer, for I have gifts for thee.
We love that atmosphere that Ireland created in this game. Yeah, a big positive of the game. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's nice, warming.
This is a bonus clip, extra funny sort of favourite moment of the series. I'm going to give you one, then Nick's going to give you one. I really liked when Nick was getting really stuck on a Werner von Croy level, and I sent him back with the clue to in one of the cool boxes in the X-ray room for the chloroform, which he went and did after being really frustrated, and it just blew up in his face.
No, I just wanted to do it. I definitely didn't do it because you told me to. Yeah, I think one of my favourite bits was hang on, can you cut there? I've forgotten. Wait, I wrote it down.
Cut that to make you look like an idiot, sure. So a bonus answer. One of your favourite moments of the series?
Yeah, I think looking back on it, what I found hilarious was when me and you were trying to remember the order of Tomb Raider 1 levels. So, Tomb Raider 1.
Tomb Raider 1 goes caves, mountain caves in Peru. Then it goes city of Villicamba.
Right.
And then Lost Valley.
Yeah.
And then it is
Tomb of Qualopec.
Tomb of Qualopec, then the Obelisk of Qualopec.
And then
Midas's Palace, then the Colosseum, then the Cistern.
Okay. That's 8.
Oh, how many levels are there?
It started off so well as well. So a bonus challenge. Let's do it again. Tomb Raider 1.
Villicamba.
No, I don't know. Caves, no? Isn't it?
Oh, Peru caves. Oh God.
We actually did better than that the first time round. I was impressed that you could say Villicamba correctly though, because I just say Villa.
Drink break. Last week I asked you a question. Because you're going to win this series, you've won more of the races that we've actually managed to complete, then I will be able to, come the end of Red Alert, I asked you which game I should play next and complete on my channel. And I gave you 3 options. There was Assassin's Creed, there was Uncharted 2, sort of Tomb Raider adjacent sort of titles almost. They're inspired by it, aren't they? And quite different, Heavy Rain. So have you had to think about that, and what do you think I should do next?
I love all these games, and I've actually played all of these games as well.
I'm so retro, I'm only just catching up now.
I think Assassin's Creed, great series. First one, I think it's sensible to start with the first one, but the Ezio series is the epitome of the series. You could even skip one, but do it if you want to. So for that reason, I'm not going to say Assassin's Creed, which leaves the other 2. Now, Tomb Raider fan, obviously. Uncharted is the kind of modern equivalent. Obviously, you've got the Rise series, so you've got Tomb Raider still, but it's a very similar collection. You've done 1, but I feel like you weren't a massive fan of 1. Is that a fair statement?
Uncharted 1 looked gorgeous, which is really cool for like, I guess it's like 10 years old now, isn't it? But I wanted more exploration rather than combat. It seemed combat focused. I remember you gave me like somebody's 4-word review of the game.
What was it?
Shoot.
Say it again.
Cover, shoot, run, cover. Something like that.
That's 5 words.
I gave you 4 the first time. I'll give you a bonus on the next.
They do get better, and I do want you to play them all, because they are worth playing. But because I don't feel you fully enjoyed your time in the Uncharted world, and because I love Heavy Rain, and also because of the kind of gameplay of Heavy Rain, there's lots of different ways to play it, as in storyline and ending. I think that would be an interesting one for your channel, where even someone who's played it before could get something out of watching your version of it. So my choice is Heavy Rain.
Cool. Well, I'll get started playing Heavy Rain on twitch.tv/BrewCousins. And if you come along and watch, then you can help me make decisions, because it's a very decision-based game, isn't it?
That's right.
Jason! So that was Tomb Raider Race to the End. This week we've been playing Red Alert. We can't really have any conclusion sort of thoughts on this level because we haven't concluded it, have we? Yeah, so join us next week. I'll be streaming it on Friday at 7:30 p.m. You can watch me there, or just check out the series on YouTube, innit? And terrible ending again. Thanks for watching. Bye.
I love it. That's the best ending yet.
So I got soft